Art for Change podcast, where creativity and empowerment unite. Streaming live every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got Motion Monday, Therapeutic Thursday, and Soul Food Sunday. If you like what you see, book your seat. We turn up the heat with your Art for Change.
And we are live. What's going on, art enthusiasts and change makers? Hey, man, this is another week of Art for Change podcast. You know, if you know, today is Soul Food Sunday. Hey, and I got my co-host in the building. I am Mr. Sapiosexual.
Yeah, you already know it's your boy BU, because that's all you got to do is be you.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And we got the queen in the building, Lady Alpha. How you doing, love?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing?
We doing all right. We're doing all right. Well, I'm
That's
doing all right, should I
wonderful.
say. I can't complain.
All right.
How was the lady and gents weekend this weekend?
Oh, it was look, always good, such is life, but it had some turbulence this weekend. Oh Lord, have mercy. Like surprise turbulence, but not foreign, knowing another's personalities and flaws and characteristics. And so it was me and my father going at it.
I can see
And
that.
yeah, then he was ready
Two
to
two
leave. He was leaving. He was leaving. He
two
was
strong
leaving.
head
And
people going at it, huh?
woo, yes. And he was leaving. He talking about he want to flip over my table. What?
Oh Lord.
But he was leaving. And let's see. So this is Sunday. So this had to be, was it Thursday? And then I think, yeah, he was leaving Friday.
Mhm.
He did leave, took her down to what we call here Monahan Penn, because he was going to take the train to go to Florida, Plant City,
Yes.
Florida, where he's born and raised from. But, he still has some connections there. As we know, no more family, but it could be possible. But the immediate family that was there, everyone has, God has called them. But so my daughter went with him because, I ain't feeling that. So she went with him. But as I could hear them organizing and everything, and he knew my father, he just dealing with my daughter to help pack him up and all this jazz.
Mhm.
And he ready to leave like what you call peanuts,
Yes.
Snoopy, just with the bag. You
Mhm.
can't go like that. I think when it happened, maybe it was Wednesday because the next day they went out shopping. My daughter went with him to get a suitcase and stuff. So long story short, I had told her, don't push. If he's not packing his clothes now, don't push it because he's not going to make what they already checked into this two something in the evening train, you know. So they did go. They missed the train. He purchased his ticket there. My daughter calls me. He purchases his ticket. Well, no, he didn't purchase his ticket yet. No, he did. He purchased his ticket while he was there because that's what I suggested. And then what about his luggage? See if you can leave it there. So they wind up checking it in, which I wasn't clear if they, because I really said, get a locker, but if they have a locker big enough, but see what you can do to leave the luggage there. So that was done. He comes back here and then planning to leave the next day. So I'm, starting to feel, when trials and tribulations happen and then you think more, you've got time to think about it. So that next day, I'm thinking, and I'm still not really feeling it. But I go out to walk my dog, and my normal route, I go to the store, the bodega, get my little drink, and I walk my dog. But I couldn't go further up the block. I got convicted, and I had to go back and let him know how I felt. When I came back in, he was in the room, one of the bedrooms, talking to my kids, and I just said, "Excuse me." So I let him know he's hard of hearing, and then I got emotional. And then he said, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. But meanwhile, you say, I got to go. I got to go. But he broke down. He didn't want to leave either, and so I sat next to him, and we both was crying and embraced one another. I said, "We can do this, Woody. You know, things happen in families." He said, "It sure does." And we just said, and I said, "I promise, I'm a little better." Like because he kind of feels, it's a 89-year-old man that's used to living on his own terms and by himself. He's pretty much been a loner a lot of years throughout of his life. So
Yeah.
um, it's difficult. But
Yes.
so he's still here. He's still here because he was concerned, telling me, I feel like you monitoring me."
And yeah, and I know that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? He's the daddy, but you know what I'm saying? At this point, you gotta, you know, look out for daddy. So he feel like, the child, and he don't like that.
No, no, not at all, not at all. And
Yeah.
even though he's hard of hearing and he forgets some things, from what I said yesterday or whatever day before to the next day, and he said, "You told me," or whatever. "Oh, really? Or what did we eat?" "Oh, I ate that." Yeah. So, but when the elderly like that, it's like that's not important to them. They hold on to whatever they know about themselves, and that's their belief system. So we monitor you. I monitor my house. Like, but so it was trying. But on that note, I hope the point is I hope everyone can get out of that relations aren't easy. And
Mm-hmm.
between whether it's family or non-family, relations aren't easy. But I always allow myself to look at the purpose of what I'm doing in relationship, the why I'm doing in the relationship, and just hopefully get through it to stay connected. Yeah,
Yes. I like that. I like that.
yeah. So, hmm
Understandable.
yeah.
What
Thanks for
about you?
Yeah.
asking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What about you, BU?
Well, I was on my deathbed this weekend, so but God had other plans, like so. I'm
All
here.
Amen.
Um,
Amen.
let the church say Amen. Look at your
right. Amen.
neighbor. Nah,
Hmm.
I slept the whole weekend, like literally probably 14 hours since Friday, and then 14 hours Saturday, and then 14 hours each day actually. Yeah, I was on meds,
Mm.
ginger ale, soup, and I smoked the most weed I smoked since I've been here. and that weekend, just to force me to go to sleep. Just to force me to go to sleep so I could just
Okay.
sleep off the pain.
Yeah.
And I woke
Hmm.
up sweating every day, like woke up in sweats and all that. But
What you had, the
I'm here now.
flu?
I'm better. Probably.
He said probably.
Hey, black people will be scared to go to the doctor until it's like, all right, hey, we gotta go, bro.
We gotta go. Right.
We
Right.
think we're
Right.
so strong. We think we're so strong.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we good.
You know
This
what?
too shall pass.
This too shall pass. You know what? I don't even think it's. Feel like, believe it or not, I think the trauma of what our ancestors experienced, and not being able to trust doctors, is why I feel like our community has such a negative stigma towards doctors. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
why we don't go to the doctor unless it's a dire need. So yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree because I've heard it is a lot of negative stigma to that. I've heard it throughout my family with the elders. Doctors don't know what they're talking about, or it's all about money, and all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
And there is some truth in some of that,
Yeah.
but it's not in all doctors.
Right.
But yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We got
Mhm.
a interesting story for you tonight, folks. We're gonna talk a little
Wait,
bit.
you didn't tell us? Did you tell us how your weekend is?
No, ma'am,
Was?
I
What?
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We, because
Hey,
we know a little something about your weekend, where you went, and so you gotta share it.
Okay.
So,
I had a good weekend. Probably one of my better weekends this year. I went home and see my babies. My daughter had a birthday party this weekend. Um,
See,
so I was able to go home and be a part of that and spend some time with my little man. So yeah, all that good stuff.
beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful. How old did your daughter turn?
8.
Okay, lovely, lovely.
Mm. Mm.
Hmm.
And you just got back?
Yes, I literally just got back like 10 minutes before hopping on. Yeah,
Yeah, how long? Damn,
Hmm.
so you just got back. How long is that, right? You just got back hot straight to the podcast?
straight to the podcast, bro.
Hmm.
11 hours. I ate, spend time with the missus, and then here with y'all guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Look at that. You see that? I like that you said that. He ate and spent time with the missus. I like that. Yeah, you didn't just say, no, I got to get on this. I got to do this. I love it. Nice balance. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. But tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this Diddy conviction and his sentencing. And then we're going to talk about, domestic violence and emotional abuse and being with people who are narcissists. We love to talk about this word so much, so we're going to dive in. And so, of course, we can't have a conversation about relationships without having both male and female presence on the show. So Lady Alva will be joining us tonight to represent the female perspective. Yes.
Yes, yes.
And
Glad to
don't
see
hold
so.
back, Lady Alva. Don't hold back.
Oh, all
You're
right.
free. You're free. Spread
You
your
said
wings.
it.
Spread your wings.
Right. And so, for people who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, Diddy is a renowned hip hop artist who have recently been in the news for his conviction for multiple charges related to abuse and manipulation in relations to leading to sentences of 50 months in prison. So uh, it goes to show that no matter who you are, um, what's done in the dark may come to light, and sometimes your bad things catch up to you, even if it's 20 years later, 15 years later, 10 years later. So be careful.
Mhm.
Just, when you put good energy in the atmosphere, you get energy back. Sometimes we change our life later in life, but things we did in our early life catch up with us. Um,
Mhm.
and I think that's what Mr. Diddy is having to deal with now. He may have not even been in the same mindset as he was in a younger man, but now he's dealing with his younger man consequences. Uh,
Mhm.
mm, yeah, true. So, statistics of relationship abuse. It says, according to National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, nearly 1 in 4 women, that means nearly 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men experience severe, intimate partner physical violence. Of course, the stigma is a lot less with men, and don't think that men don't get beat on too. Uh, but 1 in 4 and every woman is pretty high. That's 25%,
That's
folks.
high. Yeah.
And being that women outnumber us so much in the world, for it to be 25% of them are dealing with physical um, violence, domestic violence. That needs to change, and it's a man problem. It's not I don't think it's a black, white, Latino, orange, green, purple. I think it's a man problem. I think it's something
Mhm.
in men needs to change, um, because 1 in 4 versus 1 in 9 is a big difference.
Mhm.
It ain't women. It's
Mhm.
not women going upside men's head. It's vice versa. It
Hey, I'm
says.
one of those 9. I got swuggle.
Uh-oh.
I'm one of them.
You
I'm
wanted
one
to
of the
die
statistics. I'm one of the
now
9.
or used to be? Are you still one of the
No,
statistics
no,
or
not now. Not now. No, no.
okay?
Mhm.
I
You
was.
from the you from the battered husband society, man.
Yeah,
Battered boyfriend society.
I'm here to tell my story. Like,
We're gonna
Wow,
get you a
BU.
we're gonna get you a tell-all book.
Wow.
Nah, but
That's surprising
on an
to
actual
hear.
serious note, have any of you two ever experienced, witnessed domestic violence?
I have, and it was at an early age. It was with my mom, um, before she met my stepdad. They still tried to kill her, and I tried to help her, but nigga, I'm like 6 years old, and he kicks me out the door, out the bedroom. He tries to smother her. Luckily, like he came to his senses. I don't know if he was going crazy or whatever, but he came to his senses and he fled the scene. And pretty much every time my uncle see him, he get his ass whooped. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. And I felt useless because I couldn't help my mom at that moment.
Yeah.
So I felt very useless, and it's like, yo. And then now, we grow, we got daughters and everything. So it's like I'm very against putting your hands on them. Or like nobody should put their hands on anybody. Like
right. Everybody
if you're a partner, like like it shouldn't go. It shouldn't be. Oh, she can hit me, and because it might be a time a female hit me or she fighting my lady. I gotta go whoop up on her. Like for real. Hey.
So you beating the bitch. So you fighting. You beating a woman up for your woman.
Hey, if she fighting and like, all right.
Listen, bro.
Yes.
Finish it out.
Finish it out.
If she fighting, we fighting. So I mean,
okay.
And it's usually and with females. No, the thing is, like, if it's one-on-one, but the thing with females, if you fight one female, it's a lot of females fighting. So I'm knocking heads.
So if your female
you're supposed to restrain her. You're supposed to restrain the woman.
If your woman getting drunk, you start swinging on women.
I gotta protect her.
He said, "I gotta protect her." I respect it.
I don't condone it, and like Lady Eva said, you gotta restrain her. So I would do everything for that not to happen. So that's last resort,
It's a judge,
honesty, but
it's a judge-free zone.
It's a touchy subject. Yeah, that's a tricky subject. I'd rather just retreat. All right, because we're grown now. I don't want no problems. Let's just go. But if I have to defend my lady, I gotta defend her, no matter what.
You saying defend her from other women?
Or anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody. He said anybody can get it. Male, female, hey.
Female, anybody.
The dog next door.
He said the dog next door. He's fighting everybody for his woman. I mean, and that's commendable in a sense. Will Smith, I see you. But for me, I think realistically, I know that I would probably harm a woman. I'm walking around at 200 pounds for a man, and I have working man strength. I'm not naive to the fact that I'm pretty strong for a man. So like I never ball, and I have big hands, you know what I mean? And my hands probably take up a woman's whole face. So like if I was to strike a woman, it may not end good for her. So I don't think I would actually come to blows with women in the event that my woman is getting beat on, unless she's with some heavy weights. Now she fighting some, 300 pounders. I don't know. I may get a jab.
Yeah, say man, like, hold on.
But no. Realistically, no. I'll push it aside. And if my woman was getting attacked by multiple women, I would just try to grab a hold of my woman and shield her and take the beating for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that concept. Yeah, I like your concept. I think that but you might not necessarily have to take the beating for her if you can intercede and like get her out of there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and when you talk about a large woman or a heavy weighted woman, I mean, and it might not necessarily just be, it could be a smaller woman. What's our boxer? Shields? What's her name?
Oh yeah, Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields. Yeah, or one of our,
Yeah,
you might, or MMA boxers. Yeah, you might have to say, listen, if they to get them to stop or shield your woman. But if she don't stop and you looking at what can I do, you can't restrain her. That's gonna be a fight in itself. You look. Sometimes you might have to maybe knock a woman out momentarily if she keep coming. You might have to say, "Okay, I see you not listening," boop, and just let her. If
Hey, y'all
she's
heard
not
it here
listening. Yes, look, some women are not saying she is a beast, but come like a beast. And that adrenaline rushing, whatever the argument or the fight is about, their anger and all of that, that's a whole nother level, that's going on inside a man or woman.
hmm
So I think that if once a man has to come in and save his woman in that case, and if as he sees scopes the situation and he can't get her out there because this woman or more is still attacking, he might have to do something, to diffuse her. And
Yeah.
it would just take one hit if a man knows what he's doing with his hands and where to hit on the body to get her to cower out and then move on. Well, then you'd be running with your woman. Come on, baby, let's go. She tapped out
Yeah, I
before she
respect
get
it. I
back up.
respect it. I think I'd
Yeah,
slam a woman. I'd slam a woman.
yeah,
I get her.
yeah,
I grab her
yeah,
and throw. Grab them up and toss them. Hey, back up now. And you start throwing bitches.
yeah, yeah. But
Start throwing
you put a, yeah,
bitches.
you lay them down or you kind of like straddle over them to sit on them, straddle over them. And that's it. You just want to diffuse her. That's how
Yeah.
I think about it. Not to beat on her, like
No, definitely
because
Yeah.
not.
you hit my woman. You just want to stop it.
Right, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But of course, the ultimate goal is to diffuse the situation. As
yeah,
we always say when we talk about these type of situations, we do not condone violence of no sort here on Heart for Change. Um,
absolutely.
and as we keep going, it says the American Psychological Association states that emotional abuse can be as damaging as physical abuse, affecting mental health and self-esteem. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
What y'all think about emotional abuse? Y'all ever been in a
Yeah.
relationship where you felt emotional abuse or seen it?
Oh,
What?
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think emotional abuse can lead up to physical abuse or a
Ooh, talk
physical
about it.
attack or a physical attack. We say everyone has a breaking point. You don't know what one's breaking point necessarily is per se, not all the time. Sometimes we don't know what our own breaking point is. But in the terms of I'm coming from a male emotionally abusing a woman, that can build up to where she's coming to attack him or setting him up or something. Because you holding all of that animosity in you, all
Yeah,
of his disgrace in you, all of his dislike, because that's what it feels like in you, all of his disrespect in you, all of these things. And after a while, you might just get, and I think I've listened to a lot of stories where if you hear in documentaries that is actually what has happened to women. The sad part about it to me is that women take the blame, take all of get incarcerated for years. I'm not saying there's no consequence that a woman should have, but I think our legal system needs to readjust in a way to rethink. When you talk about a girl who's being emotionally abused by her father and or physically abused, sexually abused, all those type of forms of abuse. And what can she do as a kid? When she gets to an age, maybe a teen or maybe now she want to kill her father, or she does it but not meaning to, or maybe even she thought about doing it and did it, and they said it's premature. Well, what do you think is going to happen to the human brain
right.
when someone's enduring that for so long?
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
So why are women paying the ultimate penalty for that?
Mm,
So that goes back to, I can connect that back to what you started off in your opening, Mr. Is saying that the problem is men.
yes.
The problem is poor leadership in men.
Agreed. I can't argue with you.
Hmm.
I can't
Yep.
argue with you there. I mean, because if it was not true, I don't think we would see such an uptick.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. What?
I think I think not second to sexual abuse. Emotional abuse is actually worse than all the other abuses. Not second to sexual. Yes, because
Mm-hmm,
that's a form of emotional abuse because you're sexually abusing
Mm,
a lady or female. Like it goes both ways. But
yeah.
like I think that even if they don't physically, I agree with Lady Alba, but even if they don't reach that physical point where
Hmm.
they want to physically abuse you because you've been emotionally abusing them, they
Right.
reach like suicide points.
Yes.
And
mm-hmm,
they
Have
mm-hmm,
mental health and have emotional and self-centered esteem problems. Correct.
mm-hmm,
yes. And then if they don't, then you see them show up on uh, shows like Snap, where they just snap just because they've been bearing it so long, and
Yes.
like they just
mm-hmm,
go off. That's where therapy comes in play though. Like, and then but they feel like they're scared to talk to other people, the women. So at men as well, but mostly women, they're scared to go and talk to other people. So they're taking this abuse. Take Cassie with Diddy for and this man has so much power. If I go anywhere to anybody, he's gonna shut it down. Like he has so much power. Diddy has so much power over me. Like he's so influential to the whole world. Like I can't say nothing. I'm holding all this in. So it took for like a case like Diddy's, which we could talk about in a little bit, this to happen for her to even come out and feel safe enough to come out and tell her part of the story because her story's been out for the longest, and she reached a settlement the day after court. The next day she reached a settlement because she was scared, so she didn't speak on it no more. But then the trial reopened on some other stuff, and she felt safe enough that she could speak on it, and she went through therapy and all that from the trial, from her first trial to this trial. Now she's been through therapy and everything like that. Even got, I think, remarried or something like that. But uh, it took time, like you said earlier in the episode, Mister. It took time, and then she was healing, and she felt healed. So that's how I think.
Brooke says she wanted to hear from a male perspective. She says she's here for this topic. We see you. We appreciate you listening and watching. Um,
Shouts out, Brooke.
what
mm-hmm. Hey, boy.
It says that Diddy got 50 months in jail. It says this is a reflection to recognize just the severity of relationship abuse. How do y'all feel about seeing people in high power being able to be held accountable for their actions?
Oh, I feel good about it. Me personally, um, I feel good about it, and there's so much to unpack for me with this whole thing. I watched the case, I followed it, and then I went to listen to various reports of the sentencing and hearing, you listening to lawyers speak and this on those who are following the case throughout. And what I thought, just because we're going to come on here and talk about it, so I jotted down a note and I said possibly women are blurring the internal nurturing attribute in relationships with men. So what I'm trying to say with that, like women, we're nurturers. That's how we're designed. You understand? And we do extend it. We extend it to any human being. We do it with our homegirls. We do it with our male homies or male partners. We definitely do it with our within our family, to if it's sibling to sibling, and having children for sure. I think we also have to think about the way for centuries from the beginning people were raised, that traditional aspect, um, that women if let me put it this way, I got to be careful of my words because of all the societal changes. Women were the queen and the male be the king. You understand? Let me say it that way because I have something to play. Um, Women sought looked after what now I don't want to say I can use the word serve. My laptop is darkening, but they're the help me for the man. Every young girl aspired to a man that is of a certain type, even the parents, that can excel her, help her to elevate her life. Not to say that she's not going to do that, but that's what you're looking for. Today's society has changed a lot of that. So when I say that, that's like when I heard a report saying one, I think she was the lawyer, said, and those who believe that Cassie allowed all of that because she wanted the fame, she wanted to have that lifestyle. And I'm thinking, well, what girl doesn't? Even if it's not with a star, an icon, I want a man that's going to carry me up. Not, you know what I'm saying? And we together carry each other up. And in that togetherness, the woman's job is her one of her duties was always to guide her man. Definitely if he's rising up and to keep him steady in that rising. So why are we complaining about the women who still kind of live in that traditional aspect in their lives when it comes to men? It's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong again is it's poor leadership in the men. They don't appreciate that. They abuse it. That's where the problem is. You understand? And then if that problem is within some women to women, because so much with the societal change, many women don't even have any respect for a woman who chooses to stay home and be a homemaker anymore. That's a problem. Don't wait. If you hear, I raised my daughter I teach her to take, why, wait, you better raise her to make money to get her own. She'll need to depend on no man, but that's not my message to my daughter. But why can't you understand that? We have to understand each other's way and how they choose to build the foundation or how it was already built in their lives. And stop blaming the women because the men are leaders. And no man, if a woman is going wrong, what he did, he should have never been doing all of that. he literally brought uh, such disgrace and treatment of women into his organization. If you want to be like that, your sex life is your sex life, dude. But to wrap it into your organization that we paid into for you to make it to where you made it. Yeah, God given, we didn't give you God gives us gifts and talents, but we supported you in that. We paid into that, whether it be literally financial money, buying your music, downloading, streaming, or just listening and watching, giving time and enjoying it. Make sure that music's playing at my party. Look, the man, I love him in his artistry. I don't love him in his manhood, because he brought his sex life into his organization. And that you shouldn't have been doing. To where you are really, I'm going to say, acting like a punk now. Because maybe you wouldn't have never been able to have all these girls, these women, the way you had it if you was just whatever your name is before Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
It was just Sean Combs.
No. Yeah.
Sean
But
Combs,
now that you get that, now you just go ahead and disgrace yourself. And also, to me, you disgrace women and bring you have made it to black excellence, and you are disgracing us, and you're doing it to our women. You are to me, you like the master, but you're black. Wow. Wow. How dare you, Diddy? How dare you, Diddy?
That was heavy. That was heavy.
How dare you, Diddy? And you got daughters.
Yeah, twin daughters.
How dare you, Diddy? And you claim some other man's son to corrupt him. How dare you, Diddy?
Mm,
And then the family's talking, and we need our daddy at home. Now, what? I understand that, but as children, we're raised that you get consequences when you do wrong things, right? Our
right,
parents raise us like that, right?
right,
The same applies for the parents. So
right. But
how
you
you
gotta,
feeling for your
but you
daddy
gotta
to come
understand.
home?
If I've never seen that side of my father, regardless of what my
That
father may be guilty of, it's hard for me to connect with that if I only know him for being uh, good to me.
you just opened up the third eye of that. You went right into the eye of the storm because that's exactly what I thought. And I'm wondering, is anyone else thinking that? Because obviously, Diddy didn't teach his kids that.
Right.
Because if they did, oh, daddy, well, you got to do time.
They'll
Just
be
like
just like
we
R.
had to do
Kelly kids.
time
R.
when
Kelly
we broke
kids
rules.
was not boohooing when he went to jail.
Right. I mean, hello, but obviously Diddy didn't teach that lesson to his kids because why is his kids crying about that like that? You need your daddy at home? Do you understand your daddy disrespected women harshly? What are you talking about? He has to be held accountable for that.
Right.
And being that he didn't teach him that, his little pleas in court mean nothing. I'm so glad the judge didn't said that. You pleading for what? Because you wasn't pleading. Look, as a black woman, I've known some women who were in abuses. I've had tuffles stuff and scuffles in my relations. Hey, no man is thinking that when he's doing that. He's enjoying it. You ain't sorry until your shit hits the fan for real. Or
Yeah,
until the
it's
woman is
always
coming at you or somebody else is coming at, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Too
right.
late, too late, too late, Regin. That's by what y'all don't know what Regin is. I learned that from my aunt. That's nigga spelled backwards. There you go, BU. You use Regin. Too late,
All
Regin.
right.
All
Yeah,
Oh
right.
but
Lord.
can let me I'm a pause on this because it's a lot to unpack in, but I wanna can I play a little piece or attempt to that it's gotta give the props to the art of dialogue and they interviewed Suge Knight. And I like this, and it's not visual. Suge Knight is not visual. We all know where he still is. But I like this little portion that he said, and shout out to Suge Knight. Now, I don't know. I'm going to do it from my phone. I didn't do the clips. I didn't do all that technology stuff, y'all. Now, we're going to keep it simple. Tell me if you can hear.
Okay.
I feel like they took it easy on him, giving him 50 months.
Can y'all hear
That's
it?
really that's one of the
Yes, ma'am.
that's probably one of the best deals for decades and decades and decades. This is the first time a black man won without a strong black woman. They weren't worried about Mandela making all those power moves. It was about his wife making all those power moves. On the chessboard, the king is the most important piece, but the queen is the only piece that moves all around the board to make sure the king grows, stay who he is.
Mm,
So he definitely, that's a deal of the centuries, of the decades and decades and decades and decades. You know how many people, you know how many black men doing life was out, some of them on the real death row, some of them, a guy who steals a pizza get more time than Puffy. And other attorneys will not fight for a guy who stole a pizza and got life, but they'll fight for the guy who destroyed the women's mind. And it's a situation where
I'm going to pause it there.
anybody can make
I'm going to pause it there. Yeah. I definitely like his analogy incorporating the chessboard the king and the queen is the one that moves all around. The king is the most important piece, but the queen moves all around the board,
Yeah.
really checking the king to make sure he stay in order. So it's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to give that to her man. It's nothing wrong with a woman believing in that for her man. And so when women ask why you stay there, it's many reasons, but she has hope. She know other parts about him. I'm not, so she's there. But I do say to women, when you get to a point and you don't see any hope come alive, and certain actions, you need to leave. Don't bend yourself that much. Don't bend yourself that much. But we should understand these things.
Right.
I agree. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my response to that 15-month sentence is it's not enough. And like with the video Lady Ava just played, Suge Knight said it. He was like, "Yo, he got off good because he was supposed to get way longer than that." He
Yeah,
started Bad Boys in like 1993, and he had
yeah.
allegations since the 90s, which means he's probably been doing it way longer than they're
Mm-hmm.
sentencing him, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are probably already paid off, so we don't even know how many other people there are actually. And on the flip side, oh, Lady Ava, you said the family crying with the video. That 11-minute video, they
Mm-hmm.
played that first in court, and you know what canceled that 11-minute video? That 30-second video of him dragging Cassie down the hallway.
Oh,
That
yeah.
canceled all.
Wow.
That canceled everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
the
That's
defense
right.
kind of fucked up with that. They played it first
If,
instead
if,
of
if
after.
anything, they should have been crying for that. Dad, you did
Yeah,
that. They should have been boo-hooing at my part. You, oh my gosh, I can't.
and I'm his kids are old enough to know, hey, there's some shit going on. Like, I know that for sure. There's some shit going on. Like, they're old enough. They're old enough. They're like
Mm-hmm.
college ages and stuff like that. So they're old
Mm-hmm.
enough to know there's something going on. But hey, we
Mm-hmm.
need that because we need that. Those videos probably came from allegedly. Um, we need that to sustain this lifestyle that we're living.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Dad
Mm-hmm.
locked up, he already spent like 20 mil in lawyer fees. So hey, Dad's locked up. Like he's the money maker. We need him.
Mm-hmm.
We need him
Mm-hmm.
home. Like because
Mm-hmm.
we're losing money while he's in there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need pops.
Mm-hmm.
These videos, and also they love their dad. So I mean, they're gonna look at him as a good person still, regardless. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they need daddy, and I don't think it was enough time, but I knew it wouldn't be that much time. He'd probably get off in 2 years, actually, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't think they would put him down for long because money brings power in this country.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I know they had to give him some kind of time to prove a point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah. And that's what the judge literally said in the reports. The judge said, yeah, all of his good deeds and everything, his philanthropy, uh, philanthropist, philanthropist. If I'm saying it right, y'all help me. I'm stumbling over.
Philanthropist. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. That he's done cannot erase, cannot wash away the harm he has done, the tragedy that he has done to women. It
Right.
has to be, and I'm so glad about that. I am so glad about that because that's a wake up call to men. And I have a thought too. Diddy and along with his children, and then when you get to that level of wealth, you're meeting what we all like. We're meeting the Europeans and their wealth that have it. But you black, y'all can't be privileged like that. That's the privileged mindset. And you don't care about what your dad has done to these other people. And what do you know about it, his children, for him to come home and get help? How y'all gonna help him? You couldn't even help him while this all was going on for years. And yeah, and like you said, B, you after a certain age, you gotta have an inkling of something.
Yeah.
It's happening. Something is
Mm-hmm.
happening. You got to know his temperament. That's your dad.
Yeah, he's gonna appeal the case. I'm gonna let y'all know that now. He's gonna appeal it. There's gonna be another trial probably.
Yeah, that's what they said. No, I don't think.
I think he can
Well,
appeal it.
well,
And
maybe.
he can get a pardon from
No.
Trump. And you know how Trump like the
Mhm.
rappers. Trump like rappers.
Trump
But
better
Trump
not
did
part
say,
in this one.
no, Trump said he's not pardoning because of the shit Diddy talked about in 2016 when he was running for president. He was so against it. He's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I let that nigga out. And long story short, that's what he said.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what he said.
Make a
Not my
example out you
words.
niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah, silly. But on a serious note, listen, if you are a person that is experiencing emotional abuse, if you are experiencing domestic violence, please reach out to hotlines, some counselors, some type of legal assistance, and don't be afraid to seek help. It says, according to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, over 70% of victims who reach out for help find solace and support, which can lead to recovery and empowerment. So please, if you are a
Right.
victim, say something. If you see something, speak up. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that this case has sparked a discussion on celebrities and their lifestyles and how they normalize um, certain lifestyles exactly with their behavior. You think about it, they had over 10 years of evidence on this situation, and all these celebrities came and spoke. So all y'all knew about this, and it was normal and it was okay, and the behavior was swept under the rug until you could get 5 minutes of fame from it.
Mhm.
Now I don't have a problem with the man getting just due for any consequences that he may. I mean, getting his just due for anything that he may have done. But I feel like it is just a distraction for things that they want us to not focus on. And I think he is just a pawn. And I feel like it's a lot more powerful men who get away with it a lot worse, and
Mm.
we target Diddy because it's someone in our community to point a finger at.
No, that's interesting.
What you're
I have a
saying that
question. Oh, go ahead, Bill. Uh-uh.
what you're saying that they're used to the lifestyle and everything. I want to say attachment is an addiction.
Mm,
They're attached to that lifestyle.
yeah.
They don't want to leave that lifestyle. What they going back home with moms, like So it's like they rather put up with certain stuff, like all right, we're gonna do this like once a month or whatever, and then but he's gonna take me out to all these different places for the rest of the month and do all this. So I mean, and they're attached to that certain situation. That's why women or anybody don't leave.
Right.
Like you might need me and I might need you. Like we're
Do
stuck together.
you?
We're attached.
Let me ask you this: do you think a person that been with you for 10 years and you've been abusive the entire time, do, you don't think it is ever, and you in the public light, you don't think that person would ever get the inkling to leave before the 10 years?
I think they should, but I mean, now that comes with being brainwashed by that person, and you're used to that lifestyle. And then they brainwash you, and they make you feel like you're the fucking
The
what is it
problem.
called? Yeah, you're the problem. And I do this because you do this,
Oh, okay.
and
Like justifying their actions.
and
And,
it's
and
like, and then I've seen it before, like not as high as a level, but I've seen it. It's like, and then some people don't have family to go back to. Or you
mm,
probably left your family to go mess with this dude and cut them off. Now you can't go back, or you're scared to go back.
right. Thinking that you can't go back. Right. Think.
Yeah, well, you should always be able to go back to family.
Right. That's why I say thinking. Right. Because
Yeah,
we probably think that your family may not accept you with open arms, but a lot of us will be surprised what family would endure for family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I think that the woman, what you asked, Mister, that I believe that somewhere for 10 years or within that 10 years, if she thought that I need to leave, I gotta go. Um, the woman that didn't, I don't think any of us can answer that. She has to answer that because each woman's baggage is different.
Yeah.
Whatever is in her luggage, in her purse,
Hmm.
that will pay a price or not, whatever, to leave. That's, you got to consider that story from each woman experiencing those things. But I definitely would believe that she had to think, I got to go,
Hmm.
you know. Hmm.
I respect that. I respect that. So, what do y'all think is some early signs of being with a narcissistic partner?
Okay.
Uh,
So let's
then
okay. Oh, I was gonna
you
ask,
no,
can
you
you
go,
just
lady.
give us what
You go
narcissist,
first.
okay, what a narcissist is.
What a narcissist is. Let's see what
Mm-hmm.
the definition of a narcissist. I think what a narcissist is compared to what the definition is and what we call a narcissist, I feel like it's two different things. But
What okay.
I'm gonna read you the definition of a narcissist. It says narcissist personality disorder. It says narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others, but behind the mask of extreme confidence, they are not sure of their self worth and are easily upset by the slightest criticism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that
All
sounds
right,
like how we're what we're talking about with it. But now go ahead, be you. I'll answer after you.
all right. I'll go first because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my answer is short and it's controlling. I got one word. Like, no, I'm not being
Try to
funny
say
about it.
my answer long.
It's the yeah, nah, because I'd rather you speak on this more from a woman's point of view. My
Okay.
point of view is short. It's like it's controlling. That's my definition of it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you see this guy trying to control this woman, and and maybe he has
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff, so she has to bow down to him. So that's my answer.
Okay. So scroll back to the top, Mister, please. So
Okay.
narcissist personality disorder is a mental health condition. Right there. So family can't help that. Doctors have to help that. Therapists have to help that.
Yes.
And medicine has to or maybe not dependent to help that.
Yes.
So I like this in which people have what? I'm sorry, just go back to the top again because something you read and I want to make sure because which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. And that hits Diddy right on the head. That hits Diddy right on the head. And he's not the only one. But that's where what did you say, like that addiction to attraction? BU, is that what you said, right? That addiction,
Attachment.
attachment.
Yeah.
So attachment to
Yeah.
that lifestyle, to all that can come with it at your fingertips. And then it's about you. And, and clearly Diddy came into that point because it may be obviously if this is a mental health condition, really a good question is, does that mean that condition is already there in a person, like dormant or does it increase once they get in certain places or spaces and levels in their lives? But it's tricky because as an artist, you should stay within your artistry and what you do and what you're giving. And that's what it's about, not you sending people to walk at 7 p.m. or something at night from Manhattan to
So
Brooklyn to go get you
cheesecake.
some cheesecake. That's crazy. Now you
That's
don't, and
controlling.
you not you exercising this thing that's about you, King. You know, it's not about the art anymore. It's just so sad.
And there were signs early on. I guess we all
Hmm.
just ignored the
Hmm.
signs as a whole. There were signs, even with the
Hmm.
cheesecake thing, that with controlling. So
Yeah,
there were signs,
yeah, yeah,
but we seen him dancing on stage. You know, we liked that, so yeah, we
yeah.
ignored it.
Listen, there's no doubt Diddy, especially in the '90s, was it. He changed the scope of music and all that he gave in the artists. You know, it was popping, and it still is popping today. You play any one of them songs.
Yeah,
It is music. It's not songs that no one wants to listen to that anymore. We all still listening to it today. You know, but when you go ahead and start to take advantage of your power, or use your power in ways to take advantage of others, narcissists. We can't hear you,
Yeah,
Mister. Oh.
absolutely right. It says a narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, and financial matters. It says people with narcissistic
Hmm.
personality disorders may be generally unhappy or disappointed when they are not given specific favors or excuse me, special favors or admiration for what they believe they deserve. It says they may find the relationship trouble or unfulfilling, and other people may not enjoy being around them. It said treatment for narcissistic personality disorder centers around talk therapy and also called psychotherapy.
Hmm. And there were many people, well, quite a few people, let me say, that I know I heard that said they at once enjoyed being around him. Some didn't even know about whether they enjoyed because they didn't know anything about him. But coming into it, then all of a sudden they don't enjoy being around them. And those are people who were employed by him, you know. But then that's their job, so they like and have passion for what they do, and the money and the earning that is given them for their livelihoods, so they felt kind of stuck, like,
Right.
man, yeah, but we I don't like to be around this dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not many of us that have the strength to walk away and have nothing. It's not many of us.
Okay.
It's quite a few of us that can say, I don't care what I'm losing. Oh, this job is paying me $100,000 a year. Not for me to go through this. I'm out.
Right. 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 Some of us is not selling our soul for a price tag, our integrity for a price tag, and some of us that
Hmm.
come from hardships will.
Right. There it is. That's another variable. Yep. There it is.
So
That word hardship.
it says that narcissistic personality disorder affects males more than females, and we spoke on earlier how
Mm-hmm.
it's a male problem. It says also it can also begin in teens and in early adulthood. It says some children may also show trace of narcissism, but it's not. But there is often typical for their age, and doesn't mean that they are going to grow up and have narcissistic personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so this is
Yeah.
saying that narcissistic is a whole disorder and not just a term when someone is not agreeing with the way that you are living. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes, when women get with men who um, are more structurally sound and requires um, accountability, women who are not used to men of that nature call those men um, narcissists. But I think
Mm.
that when we do the research and read up on what an actual narcissistic personality disorder is, it seems to be like a great admiration for self and self worth, and
Mm-hmm.
and and having such a ego of yourself that you put yourself over any and everyone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think sometimes we need to associate different terms with different character traits and character flaws.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with you. And only way to do that to associate different terms is to be educated on it. You can
Yes, ma'am.
get yourself, you can educate yourself from reading
Yeah, reading is
and
fundamental.
studying. Yeah, and studying what you're reading or studying that word and all the context it can and how to use that word. Because when we don't do that, then like you said, you got throwing out these labels that don't even apply to what you see going on. Now
Right.
everybody's dumbed down because the generations they believe in each other. And when they say this generation for sure, our children, like, but I don't know. I was never like that. I'm gonna go find out. Or I go home and ask my family. Well, my friend said this, that, what, But um, you mentioned hardship,
Yeah.
Mister. So, and as you were reading more, I'm thinking about trauma.
Yes.
One trauma may play an effect in developing a narcissist
Yes.
because I'm thinking about one in my family. Let's say a man from experience, but without calling that out, let's say a man who didn't have an upbringing with his mother, or
Mm.
maybe he did, but there was something missing or a lot missing that his mother didn't give to him.
Okay.
That could create about me, 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 me in his world. Definitely, if he gets to that place in the world where he got all these women at his fingertips. So maybe we can question Mrs. Combs herself. And I don't know if y'all listen to some of the backstory with that, but that's pretty interesting. But they don't give enough that I'm looking for more. But
Right. You might be onto something, Lady Alba. They say most of the
hmm
time people that become abusers experience some type of abuse themselves, and
so
they're just
hmm
recycling that trauma, recycling that experience. Um,
hmm
no knock, and
hmm
I hate to even bring my brother up because I'm not trying to knock him while he's in a good place, but just to use him as an example. Even our brother Chris Brown, when he was a young child, he made poor decision and struck someone else who was famous and was all in the news about it. But
hmm
at a young age, he also witnessed a man attack his mother. So it just
Yeah.
see how that cycle perpetuates. You know what I mean? So I, I
Yeah.
think I think some of us can become products of our environment for sure.
hmm
And
And
that's
see,
where
go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's where because I went through the same thing. But that's where you either go. It's a fork in the road. You go this
That's what
way
I was.
or you go
Yeah.
that way.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like I seen it. So I don't want to do that because I seen my mom go through that. And then I don't want
hmm
my daughters to go through it. He's seeing it as
hmm
like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do, maybe, or she hit me, which we talked about earlier.
hmm
She hit me, or she pressed my buttons a little too much, or because we don't know the full story. Only both of them know the full story. But
hmm
she hit me, I hit her back.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what the
Yeah.
story was.
Yeah. And well, okay. And that fork in the road is true because some say, like, well, if you using, speaking of Chris Brown, I love Chris Brown. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that he's maturing and learning into his manhood. Keep it going, Chris Brown. But
Hmm.
some would say, well, if you saw your mother being abused by a man, then why would you be wanting to do that? Why would you want to be abusive yourself? And sometimes I think it's all in the message that he received from experiencing that abuse.
Taught behavior.
Yeah, yeah. And taught behavior. And how did his mother maybe respond to it? How did she speak to him about it? Did she speak to him about it? Sometimes you speak when you don't speak. So, and that message could have been some men I've literally heard. We watched some stories where men like they think women like that because they saw the tolerance that the mother accepting their father or a man beating on her.
I was just
And
about to
then all of
say.
a sudden she acted different and she was like this. So the message that's delivered to one, it varies from one to another.
I was just about to say.
Mhm.
His mom probably stayed after. My mom left after that. So I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, I don't want no woman that I love leaving me because I hit her. So I'm not gonna
Yeah,
hit her.
Right.
It's real simple.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lady Alva
Yeah.
just said, women who witnessed that, even if it wasn't like physical abuse, women who experience emotional abuse from their mother, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes end up thinking that that's okay and end up in relationships that mimic relationships that her mother had.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yes, indeed. It's something, man. It's something. But we know for every action has a consequence. So
Yes.
we have to stop fighting for people to not have consequences. The fight, that's the wrong fight. We can fight for the length of time that the consequences should have. Like we just heard Suge Knight say, the guy who stole the pizza got more time than this guy beating on women for years, you know?
Right. Right.
So, I mean, we have to fight the right fight, and stop the nonsense.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I
We
agree.
don't. So, from a male perspective, what do you think are some signs to look at, or when you're dealing with a woman who may give you emotional abuse? Because I feel like for most men, it's not a physical abuse; it's more of an emotional abuse.
I think from a male's perspective, women know what to say to hurt you, and you hold that in,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm,
you don't react until you react, like all caps react. And when you react,
mhm,
that calls physical abuse,
mm,
or that calls a retaliation of the same emotional abuse. So both of y'all emotionally abusing each other,
Mm.
which is not good at all.
Right.
And then like y'all emotionally abusing each other, and look at this, and then y'all attached to each other, so it's not gonna stop. So you're
You
gonna
just
have good days and
cycle.
bad days. You're gonna have good days and bad days. Your bad days are gonna outweigh your good days, but you're gonna stay just because of the good days you had. Like
Ooh.
it's just
Hoping for
mhm,
a better outcome is what you're saying.
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I think.
So you,
Go
it,
ahead, Lady Albert.
yeah, it sounds like it made me think of what the term that's used a lot nowadays, trauma bonding. Like they done built up this trauma between the two of them. Now they bonded in that, hoping to get out of it, but then in it, and the rest of the part that you said is it's a sick cycle.
Yes,
Hmm.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think signs of emotional abuse for a man would be like, in my vulnerableness, I told you things that, I told you in confidence that would stay between us. And whenever I upsetted you, you weaponized that information against me. To me, that's a form of emotional abuse, that we
Hmm.
that I feel like women may do without even realizing that they're doing it. Um, and I feel like it's the same thing for men. I feel like men can do this exact same thing, to be emotionally abusive to their women. Um, and I feel like, belittling someone' character. It's one thing for a person to give you like constructive criticism, like you saying, "Oh, I can't do this," and they're like, "Nah, but you can." Versus someone saying, "Oh, you not shit," or "You'll never be nothing," or "Nobody never love you like I love you," or "No, it never. If you leave me, nobody's gonna do X, Y, Z to me." And I feel like that is like a manipulation, and I feel like that form of manipulation is emotional abuse.
Hmm.
Oh, you got
Hmm.
all these kids. Ain't nobody else gonna want you. I
That
get it.
is,
Yeah,
yeah,
Hmm.
that's true.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to, make her feel less of herself, so that
Hmm.
and so in his mind, no one else can, or make her feel like no one else gonna want her the way that he does. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
While meanwhile being emotionally abusive, and
Right.
like you said, sometimes. emotional abuse turns physical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Guys that don't know how to verbally talk to their woman, you usually come off very harsh. I mean, and that goes for women too. You got women who,
Mhm.
tell men that he ain't gonna never be shit. He never gonna amount to nothing. She don't really encourage his dreams or tell, make him feel less of a
Mhm.
man. That,
Yeah.
those are ways that you can be emotionally abusive to your man. Um,
Mhm.
so I think it's just conversations that we typically don't have, and I feel like
Yeah.
we don't have the vulnerability or the we don't feel like we have a safe space to have these conversations. A lot of
Mhm.
times, you hear black people say that, oh, we're speaking passionately, or we're just speaking with a lot of emotion, but that's because that's the type of energy and language that we may heard someone else speak when we was a child, and we think that behavior is normal. But when you go to
Mhm.
around other people of sophistication and other elegant groups, you find out that there's better, more efficient ways to communicate that don't mean that I have to
Mhm.
project my voice over you or speak over you or make you feel little
Mhm.
just to get my point
Mhm.
across. You know,
That is true. That is true. Yeah. So exposure to learn more about humanity of different, like you said, levels and eloquencies and all of that.
right? Let me ask y'all.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this: do you think a person could be emotionally abusive? We know physically abusive. We can't ask that question. But do you think a person could be emotionally abusive and not know it?
Yes.
Talk
Yes.
talk about it. Talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it.
Um, I may have did this before, actually, just because I'm an open book, so uh, I'm sorry, it ain't happening now. So, all right, so I may have did it before, but it's because, actually, it's not because it's not an excuse. Don't say that. Um, it's because it's what I've seen growing up, how like my uncles would interact with girls, or even with my aunts and like my mom, like how they talk, like we just talk like ratchet. We ratchet, like So, but when you get in that space with somebody who's not raised like that, that can be emotional abuse to them. It's
Hmm.
normal to you, so you don't see it, and then she going off tripping, or it not even with a female, like in general, they're going off tripping, like, and then you don't understand what you did, and that comes with understanding as well, which comes with a conversation between the two people. Like, I don't like how you do this, or stuff like that. But I mean, you can definitely not know, because some shit is normal to me that's probably not normal to Lady Alva, or not normal
Hmm.
to Mister, or not normal to anybody in the audience watching. Like,
Right.
I mean, So now I'm thinking like, all right, what the fuck you mad at? Now I'm mad because you mad at me for hurting you.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about, hey, these are real conversations, and I'm glad we have it.
Yeah. Why you
Um,
mad at me for? I'm
yeah,
mad.
and I've been a young man too, and I can honestly say that I've probably been very guilty of being emotionally abusive, just because I haven't,
Mhm.
because I probably normalized things that was not healthy, and then even though probably
Yeah.
I know that when in my adolescence, um, when I was a younger man, I may not have moved the correct ways, and things that I thought was okay were
Mhm.
not okay. I may have been emotionally abusive in my marriage by thinking that I can control someone, um, by saying, oh, you can't have male friends because I'm thinking insecurely, or saying like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't like you to wear XYZ, and if you wear XYZ, I'm saying, oh, what, you want to look like a hoe, or you want to look like this, and making her feel bad and trying to talk down on her to
Mhm.
make her feel bad, when really I wanted to say, hey, when you dress like this, it makes me feel like you disrespecting me, or it makes me feel like you are trying to get another man's attention, or it makes me feel XYZ, instead of using my
Yeah.
words and
Right.
expressing how I felt. as a man and being
You label, yeah.
being comfortable enough to be vulnerable with my woman and say, this is why I feel this way. I labeled it and tried to weaponize her actions in a way that could have came off as emotionally abusive for sure.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
adulthood, I can see a lot of things that I did as a younger man that, saying may would have made a woman feel like she was a cage bird. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that that was the way to keep your woman. And that's not how the fuck it work. You can't control anybody. You have to allow people to be who they are. And people that is for you is going to be for you. And someone who is not, it's not. And if they not, you have to be okay with that. We're not, people are not property. We don't own nobody. So if someone does not want to be 100% locked down and monogamous with you, and that's what you want, then you just have to exit stage left and be okay with that. It is 8 billion people in this world. You don't have to try to beat somebody to be in with you, twist somebody's arm to be with you, or for women, you don't have to stay in relationships that is unhealthy for you just to have someone. Like it is going to be that. I had a conversation with somebody earlier, and I said life is like a puzzle piece, and what happens is when we're building this puzzle. It says it's a 500 puzzle piece. Anybody who ever did a puzzle with 500 pieces, those pieces are very
I'm a
small.
puzzle lady. Yeah.
Those pieces are very small when you're dealing with so many, right? And life is a big puzzle. And I feel like your tribe is the puzzle pieces that fits within your puzzle to make you complete. And I feel like in your adolescence, which we are building this puzzle and we put pieces in place that actually it fit, but it's not that right piece. It fit. So I feel like that's what we do in life. We get people that fit, but it's not that right fit. You know what I mean? It's not that piece. You know what I mean? It just look like it go there, but we can already, and the thing is, just like when we building this puzzle, we know that don't match. We putting it there, but we know it don't line up
You're
to
forcing
fit
it.
We forcing it.
Yeah. Or I just wanted, I'm thinking it can fit, but it's not the right fit. It can fit,
Exactly. It can
but it
fit,
ain't the
but it's
fit.
not the right
But it
fit.
ain't
If
the
we
fit.
can fit, it's not the
Yeah.
right piece for this puzzle. Or you know what I'm saying, or for this section. And I feel like once we align those pieces and find the piece that connects to us with no force, that is naturally designed to go here, I feel like that's when our puzzle piece is completed. And I feel like everybody should be looking for pieces that connect to them and not force and piece to be there.
Yeah. I want to. I have to answer next, but I gotta expound because you just made my brain think. Because they use that. Well, my daughter, my youngest daughter, she uses the word "fit" a lot. That's what they say. You're fit. Oh, your fit is good. I'm like, what's that? Your outfit. So when we dress, we focus on our fit. We like for our fit to feel good on us. We comfortable. We look good. We feel good. That's the same with the puzzle piece. It can fit, but it ain't the right fit. Just the same outfit. Oh, this looks nice, but this ain't it. This is a nice fit, but this ain't the right fit. There you go. Definitely to the younger generation.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It looked good,
Yeah.
but this isn't. This
You
this just ain't it. You're right.
yeah,
I
you
like
inspired me to come up with that, mister. So
that. I like that. I like that.
yeah.
What's your
Um,
What's your
yes,
perspective on that, BU?
some
I'm
people,
sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was going to answer the question. Yeah, some people can be emotionally abusive and not know it, like BU said, because it's normal to them.
Yes.
And I think in that, some people don't understand how is that normal to you? Well, my parents would say, "What's wrong with you? You stupid? Are you stupid?" So some people that had that when they're growing up, it depends, okay, on how you read the message. For me, my grandmother would call me a heifer. And me and my cousin, who's older than me, we talk about it sometimes still to this day. But the way she would say it, I didn't even know when I first heard what's the heifer? It's an animal. But
Yeah.
what she would say it like it's cutting through you. Like she angry when she means something. Oh, look at you, yeah. And a
Yeah.
whole
Hey,
face.
hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. A heifer is an
What?
animal?
Yes, a
Oh,
female cow.
yeah, yeah.
I never knew that.
A heifer
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
female cow. For those who don't
There you
know,
go.
we'll keep it going.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, you
So,
learn something new every day. BU, no
yeah.
Diddy.
Yeah, there you go. So, but some of those things I internalized that it's something she definitely don't like what I'm doing. It didn't make me feel emotionally abused. It made me feel I can't do what I'm doing. I got to correct something because I didn't want to be called that. I want her calling me that. I want her feeling that way about me. So some people it emotionally abuses them that type of lingo right away, and maybe those are the ones who so it's that, but you cannot know because it's normal to you and how you have received that message when it was done to you, so you just carry it throughout your life, and
Yes,
you learn from it, like I said, that it made a change in you. Like my mom called me stupid, okay, she ain't gonna call me stupid again because I'm gonna
right,
make sure of that, you
right,
know
right,
so we carry it on to our children. I think every one of my children would say that I'm emotionally abusive.
right,
And
right.
I can honestly, I agree. And I can honestly say the first beginnings of a mother, so the first two oldest, I surely they were raised under that. These two, the last two, yes, but as you get to
Older.
know your kids and you're growing, they're growing, and then they start to express to you stuff, or you see their reactions and their response. So then you think, Mom, maybe I can't say that anymore because, well, why is she so fussed? Because for me, for many, you're like, oh, please get over it. I'm just telling you something about how you're acting. I'm not saying that's you, but look, that's how you're portraying yourself. That's what you're being right now. That's what you're doing. But it's some of them can't, and it's, so I've had to like, while I can't say these things because you don't want to emotionally abuse your children. So,
Yeah, man. And
and
I
it's a
feel
difficult dance. You have to be willing to listen and understand what that is for someone else and say, okay, and try to mind yourself from doing those things.
yes, I'm glad you
Hmm.
spoke on that, Lady Alba. I
Hmm.
think a lot of parents, especially single mothers dealing with boys, single mothers, period, just the stress of having to do it on your own. I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of those children experience forms of emotional abuse. Being talked at instead of talked to. And for those
Hmm.
who don't know what I mean when I say that, get your fucking ass in there and sit the fuck down. That's being taught that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
y'all get it? Look, I had a rough day. I got a headache. I need y'all to go in there and be quiet for mommy. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. sh- Trying to get your kids to understand. Look, hey, look, I need you to calm down and be in having effective communication. But a lot of us wasn't taught that. We was taught, hey, get your
Hmm.
ass in there and sit the fuck down. And
Hmm.
that was normal to us. That meant, oh shit, she's not playing right now. She's in
Hmm.
serious mode. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so when we get in our adulthoods, now we're telling our kids to get the fuck in there and sit the fuck down. And
Mhm.
it's a generational curse. It's a generational trauma because we're just perpetuating the things that we taught as a child onto our children, um,
Mhm.
and, and
I,
and
yeah.
normalizing that behavior. I always
Yeah.
get on people when I hear people cuss at their children because I'm not a cusser at my
Yeah.
children. I may cuss in sentence, but I don't cuss at my kids.
At
You
my
know what I mean?
at them. Mhm.
So I don't like when I hear people tell them, "Hey, shut the fuck up, go sit the fuck down." Dude, like I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, why are you talking to them babies like that?" Because I feel like we don't understand how impressionable we are on these small minds, and that anything that we do impacts them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I feel like we as adults, every one of us, when you are in the presence of a small adult, um, you are shaping their young mind, rather intentionally or non-intentionally. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the village raises the child is a true thing. You know what I mean? When a child is
Mhm.
in a grocery store, they're peeping and learning from everybody that they came in contact with. People that walked by that was rude, people that walked by that was kind, everything. It's picking up on human mannerisms. So I feel like as adults, it is our responsibility to be some type of form of righteousness to these small people. You know what I mean? And what I mean by
Yeah.
righteousness, and I'm not speaking in the spiritual sense, I'm speaking in a right sense. Like you should always trying to be doing the right thing, having integrity, doing the right thing, especially when you see little people watching. You know what I'm saying? If I
Hmm.
if I if I if I know that I'm seeing little people watching, and I found myself to curse because I will curse when I'm talking to adults, I would say, "I'm sorry. I my apologies." You
Hmm.
know, some people
Hmm.
be like, "Oh no, it's okay," but to me, that was still rude because like we should try to show a level of dignity when we have these small minds in the room.
Hey, what you
Hmm.
said, it's okay, which means it's okay in their house, which means it's consistently
Yeah.
happening. And also to piggyback off what you said,
Hmm.
Mister, you can say the same thing two different ways, and it be taken two different ways.
Hmm.
Just so yeah, so
Hmm.
like you can interpret it two different ways, and it's all about tone and the words you choose.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So I was thinking with that example, go sit the fuck down. Is that like, well, now how, if a child is always getting that, how do they understand those words, those profanity words, and the strength of them, the meaning of them, and how to use them properly? You know, how do they differentiate from somebody to say, I'm gonna fucking kill you? Is that the same as sit the fuck down? You know, how do they know the difference? Some kids can pick up on it. There's a difference to them, like, oh, the mom talking to a parent, they're it's like they don't like me to talk to me like that. So, you know, it's very confusing. It's nothing but just soliciting more confusion into a small brain. I see it a lot here in New York, and mothers with their sons and with their daughters in the street, stopping them. They walking. Some of them they come from school because you see they got the what the fuck I tell you, fuck it. I'll be walking and I look. I just look. I just recently saw mother, and I looked over across the street and said, "Oh Lord,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
yeah,
That
it's
causes trauma.
terrible.
That
They
It's
causes
call
yeah,
trauma.
this
it's
trauma,
terrible.
emotional abuse. What we're
Yeah,
speaking of.
so yeah, and it's terrible. And again, you can't just necessarily like blame without knowing the whole conclusion of someone's story.
Yes.
Yes, the responsibility is on her, but why are you talking to your children that way?
Yeah.
You There's something that, and all of us, I know plenty of times as a mother raising children, whether with my husband or not, um, the in betweens, you know, frustration. Frustration does a lot. Frustration can make you just say anything because you're just so frustrated internally. They don't know that. But here it goes. Or something they do wrong, then all of a sudden, you coming out like, you know, and I could be like that. God damn it, why y'all? I told y'all don't do that. It's another thing I got to clean up or something else y'all done messed up, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I pay mine to thank God for God that I have developed to pay mine to listen and pay mine to myself and listen to my children. It's never too late, by the way,
Right.
even if they're all grown and as adults.
Right.
It still should be done if you didn't do it because they
Right.
need it. You need it for yourself, but they need that for
Right.
the rest of their lives to go, you know, hopefully untroubled, if I can say that way. Um, but when you said safe space, Mister, I was thinking about it when you said it, and I'm thinking that the first safe space is with yourself.
Mm.
You don't stop thinking, I don't have a safe space. Yes, you do. It's you, in you, just sitting quiet, thinking about you,
Mm-hmm.
thinking really about your heart. Does that feel good when you talk to your children about that? Does that feel good in here or between here and here? Does that ever strike you? You know, so your first safe space is you, and once you work that, now you can come out and look for other safe spaces because now you're kind of out of your own way, out of your own bondage to release what you're feeling to someone who would probably be a stranger in a safe space. And you can release it more, being more vulnerable, so being more honest. Yeah.
Some of that can come with you gotta have. You're definitely right, Lady Alvin. You gotta have strength, but to play devil's advocate on that, thinking too much and you're not strong enough mentally causes mental disorders as well because you're thinking too much. And I'm not
Yeah.
strong enough to handle all this that's going on in my head. So you're
Yeah.
right. It's both situations. So you're
Hmm.
definitely right, but sometimes people overthink.
So I think
Yeah.
you
So
saying
you
that
need
emotional abuse,
self-control.
right? I think you're trying to say emotional abuse can lead to mental health issues.
Yes. Because like she
Hmm.
said, you got to think about, oh, this. Some people, like, I can brush it off. Like, you say something about me, oh, yeah, I don't care. I think about it.
Okay.
I get it out my mind. I don't care. Somebody, you say something about somebody else, they think about it the whole day,
The
and it
whole day.
bothers
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
bothers them. Now somebody else say something to them, and it's building up. It's building up,
Yes. Yes.
and so
You're
it
right.
I
comes with
agree.
mental
Yeah.
strength as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
And everybody's mental fortitude is not the same. Absolutely.
No. No. So
Agreed.
what's the square root of all this? What's the medium? Like the best of the best solution? Do we leave it at that? Well, everybody's fought, like you just said, and what BU said, or do we just stick it, pin it to this is what needs to be done, and if we can work that at humanity one to another, we're gonna get more out of that
Right.
eventually and during. Yeah.
I think
Communicating.
communication. Okay, I like
Hmm.
that. I think holding men accountable. I think when men start
Hmm.
continue to hold men accountable, no matter what pillar of success that you on,
Hmm.
for our actions, and men start to take more leadership roles in their community and in these young men lives to build up young futures of America, or not America, young futures of this world, to be decent human beings. I think is a huge step, uh, and
Hmm.
I think male and female, we have to do some internalizing, and like, because like we spoke on with someone who may not know that they are emotionally abusive because they comfortable with talking to their kids this manner, not knowing what it does psychologically to their children. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like I feel like therapy is a good for all of us. Having somebody who is of a higher intellect who can give you constructive criticism that you don't mind taking advice from is healthy.
Hmm.
I think having mentors is healthy, and I think, like Lady Alva said, getting along with yourself and having some self-reflection is necessary for growth, no matter who you are. Nobody
Hmm.
is above reproach, so nobody is too good to look within and do as Michael Jackson said, look at the man and woman within the mirror and really take
Hmm.
some accountability. I love that word because it applies to so much, you know what I mean? And so many of us
Hmm.
flee from it, you know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of growth to say, like we all spoke and said, you know what? I'm guilty of this. And
Hmm.
this is why I was immature on it. And this is what I did to try to make better decisions. If you are, an abuser and you are attacking your wife or your girlfriend mentally, emotionally, or physically, and saying, and you can't control yourself, seek help, talk to somebody.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Before
Hmm.
you hurt someone severely. Same
Hmm.
thing for the women on the other end. If you are a victim of this type of abuse, seek help and don't wait
Hmm.
until it's too late because it is so serious. And we spoke on it and
Hmm.
stated that the statistics in the beginning of the show that one in every four women, that is 25% of all women, experience some form of emotional or physical abuse.
Hmm.
That is too high.
Hmm. That
And I
is.
feel like more awareness need to be brought to it, and more men sitting in high places need to be held accountable. Um, Oftentimes, you see guys who have positions of power that get away with being abusive, and I feel
Mhm.
like we repeat cycles. I feel like if you sit down with most of the people that are abusers, you will find out that they were abused. And most
Mm.
of the time, when you see somebody who's speaking ugly to their kids, to Lady Alice said, you go look at their mother, or their grandparents, or someone, the person who raised them. You're like, oh, okay. You can kind of most of the time see where that come from.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Same way with someone
Mhm.
who was raised with integrity, raised with dignity. You can trace it back to, what I'm saying, their grandparents, their generations before them, and you will see a lot of people who is hold themselves to a certain standard of living and understanding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like to also add, I think it's very important, and maybe I think many mothers don't realize it. When it's one thing to discipline your disciplinary ways in your home and the difference from outside. And I'm not saying to falsify or hide anything, but when you shouldn't talk to your children, none of us like that, whether in your home or outside of our homes. But when you're doing it outside of your home, there are many people, it's like for all to see. And the all to see, you don't even know, you can't even see who's seeing the mother. You're setting your children up for so many vipers out here by doing that outside for all to see. Vipers that maybe will come and encourage your kid because they saw that going down. Now they gonna feed into that because knowing the kid is probably scorned, or they're gonna ride on that vipers. You shouldn't be doing that. You're also what you said, Mister. You're setting your child up with that emotion abuse to go ahead and grow up and abuse somebody else's child, male or female, whatever their partner is. We have to understand what is the best way for to do something without bringing great damage. And unfortunately, we are left with the we generation since our ancestors or our great grandparents and our grandparents, and some of the like my father, they come up with ways where they. My father told a story to my daughter in here. He said his grandmother, maternal grandmother, said to him, "Nigga, you do what I say do. Nigga, do you buy stuff in here?" That's what she said. He in Plant City, Florida.
I might know that nigga. I live by Plant
Now look,
City.
so I can imagine today. Definitely, if my father said, "Nigga," I'd have to run away from him because I'm ready to come. What? I would get like, "Oh, Lady Alva, yeah, Lady Alva got that in her. God is working, you know." the, look, so I said, "Wow." I said, "I'm listening to that part of the story. I never recall hearing that." I said, "Wow." But see, that's that old deep South way. And that's what blacks were called. So they brought it home to they took nigga, little nigga. So we are left with a journey to keep to evolving and change ways, getting better. What definitely because we are now really identifying with what's hurting people. It took us too long, really, because too much hurt is out here, too much trauma is out here. But there's still room. It's still an opportunity to make it happen. So all those things are important. Yeah, that's it on
All right,
that note.
I'm gonna be quick. What we didn't touch on, we don't have to touch on it. I'm gonna be quick. We didn't speak on male on male abuse, emotionally or verbally, and
Okay.
women on woman abuse, and like, oh, she fat or she too skinny, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's still like, it's not just male versus woman. It's everybody versus
Mhm.
everybody.
Yeah, I like that, VU. All right.
Yeah.
You want, yeah.
Well,
Go ahead. Who want to elaborate on that?
all right.
Lady Allen.
Woman on woman. Yeah. So some things. Look, we do need to work on it for sure. I agree. That there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But and it's always we always contradict ourselves within doing that work. Like when I listen to the media reports and stuff like that, newscasters that have stood up for disgracing a woman and how she looks and this and that. But then that means really to me, if you get to the core of it, we have to just acknowledge that, let's say, on complimenting a woman, all women are pretty. We can't look at one woman, oh, she's so beautiful. She's such, when she comes in the room, we have to give that to all women because you're still discriminating if you're doing it that way. You have to give it to all women. There's one level of pretty. Or you got to stop saying it, stop singling women out who are pretty because it's a contradiction. How do we get over this? You know? Um, yeah. So what else did you say, BU? Women need to
Men
stop.
on men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
women
fat
need to
shaming.
stop. Yeah, women need to stop calling each other bitches for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, come on, hold yourself up to a higher esteem individually and collectively. There's nothing. What is it for?
Apparently,
How
bitch
y'all
got
saying
different
you're a
definitions
female
though.
dog?
Hey,
You
so
think it
if a man
sound
call
good?
you a bitch, no, if your man call you a bitch, it's a
Yeah,
problem. But your best friend call you
yeah.
a bitch.
But
Hey,
what you
hey,
do we
look what
do?
I just heard about. What's the T,
Yeah,
bitch?
yeah, exactly. But we all know a bitch is a female dog, right?
Yeah,
Right.
So why are y'all identifying each other that way? Does it sound good to you? Something's wrong with that.
yeah.
Men on men and on men abuse. Men on men abuse, you say?
Yeah, the same as women, men do the same to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. I've seen that men are hard on each other. I think really more harder than women and how y'all get in and start throwing the lingo with one another. And sometimes I've seen it where it comes to fights. And
Yeah,
then
I
I've also seen it to where one dude is like, now he don't like it. And then, but now they cracking him. Oh, he Mr. Sensitive because he don't like it. They drag him so it gets even deeper. Now y'all go, oh Lord, why don't all y'all stop?
mean, yeah.
Not a
You
school
know,
shut up. Yeah.
yeah,
He said, "Not a
yeah,
school. Shut up."
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
I call it cookie a cookie.
Exactly. We have to, yeah, all of that stuff has to stop. That's all I got to say on it. Because, I mean, it's a lot to unpack with that, too.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
But to keep it short. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Man, this has been a very good show, man. I like conversations like this. Anybody, like we spoke on earlier, man, please reach out to someone if you are the abuser or the abuse, man. Find you some help with that, whatever form it is for you, in
Please.
whichever way you need it. Um, and if you know somebody that is dealing with that, man, speak up and say something. Don't wait for it's too late. There's a song by Eve called "Love Is Blind," and then people who are familiar with it know that at the end of the song, her best friend had lost her life, but she had always knew that the guy was abusive. Um,
Mm.
so I say that to say, sometimes we like, oh, we don't want to intervene and we don't want to get into nobody else's business, but treat everybody the way that we want to be treated. And if you was in that position, you will want someone that knows to try to help you.
Yes, 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 yes.
Before we get up out of here, don't forget to go to the official Arthur Chain podcast on Instagram if you want to do some discounts. You can go to our highlight section. You can go to oldglory.com. You can get 15% off that entire website. All you have to do is put Art for Change in the promo when you check out. You can do the same thing if you go to Patriot Water. You can hit that highlight section. It'll take you right to their website. You get 10% off the entire website for all Art for Change listeners. Same thing if you go to Molly B. She has them artisan cookies. If you got a sweet tooth and you love some cookies that are fresh and authentic, hey, Molly B's is where you need to be, baby. And we give you 10% off the entire website. So Art for Change in the promo there. Or you can just go to our highlight section and hit the Molly B icon. It'll take you right to the website so you'll be ready for checkout with Art for Change in the promo code. You know that we go live on Mondays or Thursdays and on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And sometimes we'll mix it up in between the week. You don't ever know who we're going to have on this show. So you need to like, subscribe, hit that bell, tell a friend to lock in. And also, if you are an artist, know that we are always looking for artists to come on and do their thing, showcase their talent, and build their fan base with us. You know what I'm saying? Share their fan base with us. You know what I mean? That's what we created this space for. So yeah, any professionals, anybody that is elite in their craft, we would love to sit and talk to you and dissect your brain and get the future people of America, somebody to look up to. That's we looking for future leaders here, advocates, people that's making a change in their communities. If you are a counselor, a city leader, a mayor, if you want to sit down and talk to us, we would love to have you. If we hear conversations that you don't like and you want to give us a different perspective, we would love to have you. That's what this healthy dialogue is here for. But I'm gonna let my panel go around and give y'all something positive before we close out. What you got for the people?
All right.
We talked a lot about mental abuse and everything. What I want to say is, and we talked about going to therapy, but what I want to also say is, even therapists need therapy. So you're not alone. Don't feel like, I don't need nobody to talk to. I don't have to. I'm strong enough mentally. I don't need to talk to nobody. I got it. But even therapists need therapy.
So I want to say that is real good. Yeah. You are your art. You can change. One other saying, putting a twist on the phrase, the philosophy of love is blind. Kudos to you, Eve, not attacking your song because you know we love Eve. You got the first three letters of my name.
Evelyn.
I'm Eve too. So, but putting a twist on that, love is not blind. We are blind to what love is. That's my two-parter.
Okay.
I like it, man. Hey, it's been real, man. We appreciate everybody that's been checking in with us. And know that I'm be giving away this money, man. My number tonight is 74. If you don't know what I'm giving away, what I'm saying the number for, I'm giving away $100 every show. And right now, I have not gave no money away. So right now in the pot is now $500 because it's been 5 weeks since I said that I'm gonna give $100 every show. So at the beginning of the show, I am going to write a number between 1 and 0. And if you comment while we are watching live and give me a number in the comment in your Cash App, if your number is closest to the number that I picked before the end of the show, you get $100. Right now, it in the pot is 500. So this is to build up our viewership and to show y'all that we care too, man. So yeah.
Look, I'm about to
if my
solicit
kids,
some.
if my kids watching, hey, put the numbers. I
That's
gonna
what
lie,
I'm
y'all.
thinking, BU. That's what I'm thinking.
Hey,
I'm about to
if my
solicit some
kids.
people so we all can get paid. Damn, we on the same page with that thought for sure.
I wish I was lying. Hey, kids.
BU, maybe we should,
I don't be knowing the
change up
number
our
anyway.
look. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we change up our look. Like it's your day off, we come in as a guest, like a viewer. No? Put on the
Anonymous. I'm
costume.
anonymous. Hey, I'm anonymous.
There you go. Can I say something? Roy Simmons, that's my friend. Thank you so much for the love. I love you too.
Oh yeah, Roy Simmons said, "Love you, Lady Alva." Okay.
hmm
All right, we can end this.
All right, man. Until next time,
It was
baby.
a
Art for
good show.
change. Peace and love, gang. And we out.